Here and welcome to my channel SEO Training Lab. So in the previous video I went ahead and created a Facebook page and updated my YouTube channel with an image from canva.com. So now that we have registered a domain, we still do not have a website. So let's start working towards building our website. So the first thing is, let's look at the options that we have. So there are different options that we can look at. One is find a website builder and start creating your website, like Google Sites. Here's the Google Sites, or if you have an e-commerce website, then you can look at Shopify. That's a very good platform. The second thing is start looking at hosts, who give you access to a software called cPanel, from where you can start, adding packages to your website. I mean, there are quite a few of them. I haven't used any of them, but they are another option. And the third one is my favorite, which is find a hosting provider and create your own virtual private server. Uh, the options are we can use something like Amazon AWS, DigitalOcean, Vulture, and so on. So uh, there's no right or wrong answers here. So it's like, what do you uh, want to choose? I mean, go with what works for you. So I'm going to use my own VPS server on Amazon AWS, mainly for the reason that I had applied for a program called FB Start, and I got accepted, and Facebook gave me free credits on Amazon AWS. So I can use it for free. And the other thing is, this having my own server gives me a lot of flexibility. One thing I've noticed is people who do not have technical skills get intimidated to try out, setting up their own VPS. But I think these days it is just a matter of going through a few steps which are well documented. And another option is, like, you can just get your server set up for around 50 bucks, $50, by just hire a freelancer and get it done. And once you set it up, you have a lot of flexibility, and most of the service providers these days actually give you good support. So and the options are like, if you look at Vulture, the pricing is just uh, $2.5 per month, so it works out very cheap. So yeah, you decide what you want to do. So now that I have a VPS, I've created a VPS on Amazon AWS. So let me show you. So this the instance that I've created, and as you can see, there's something called as Elastic IP that gives me a static IP for my instance, which is this. So I have to go to my domain name and say, hey, this is where my web server is going to be. So I've set that up. I mean, it depends on where you have registered, but for Gandhi.net, I just go use this and say, hey, this is the IP address that was Elastic IP address, and they say the domain name is this. So once you type that, it points, the browser comes to you. I mean, is pointed to your web server. So the next thing that we have to do is install a web server. So I went ahead and used Nginx as my web server. And one thing that you need to take care of in your web server these days is setting up a HTTPS server. So it is generally HTTPS colon slash slash your domain. The S, as I mean, there's a HTTP and HTTPS. S is like secure protocol, and these days Google actually you have as per the SEO, you have a good chance. I mean, it's one of the signals that Google is starting to look at these days. So if you're starting something new or you already have one, it's easy to set up. So uh, previously, we had to pay for getting SSL, but these days there's a very good option. It's called Let's Encrypt. You get a SSL certificate for free. So yeah, so go ahead and set that up. The other thing is, like, now that I've set up the basics SSL, I've done a redirect. So you have to choose between www.yourdomain and yourdomain.com. So if you do you want the www, or do you just want your domain? So I chose seo-training.lab. uh, if you just type www, it does a redirect, and if you look at it, it is automatically redirected to the https website. So that's it for now. We'll talk about what software to use in the next video. Thank you. And if you have any questions or any comments, please feel free to comment on the YouTube channel, and I'll try to answer those in the next video.